So get this. There's this guy named Philip Lane from Communications 253 that thinks we should be funding research into reviving the brain dead. No way, right?
That's crazy.
No. Oh, Dr. Lane, we weren't expecting you so soon. We have the conference room ready for you right over here.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dr. Harvey. Follow me. I'd like you to be a part of this presentation. Hello, gentlemen. Thank you for joining me today, along with this poor fellow who is brain dead. However, it is an exciting time to be dead in the science community today. Through the peptides, amino acid molecules, as well as transcranial laser stimulation, it has become possible, it has become a reality to reanimate people that have lost cognitive ability and remain motionless in a brain-dead state. This research has yet to succeed, but with the proper support and funding, it will be capable of conducting the task at hand. In this speech, I hope to give you all a little insight into the matter of awakening those who are brain dead. Hopefully, I can convince you and many others that this research will benefit both science and the victims of this trauma. What would this mean if successful? If these experiments prove to be successful, we will have an entire new understanding of the human cognition. Being brain dead is an irreversible loss of all functions of the brain, including the brainstem. This means the patient literally loses their connection to their conscience and has no cognitive ability, as you can see here in this victim. Bringing these victims back to minimal consciousness will allow them to reconnect with their conscience and give them the chance to awaken from the induced coma. This will allow many loved ones to reconnect and give hope to otherwise lost causes. Once we have achieved the ability to recover patients who have become brain dead, it will greatly improve our capability of fighting many degenerative brain diseases like Alzheimer's disease or cerebral palsy. None of these amazing possibilities can be exploited, however, until we put our differences aside and acknowledge the benefits of the resounding research at hand. Dr. Himanshu Bansal, an orthopedic surgeon in India, began these experiments in early 2016. With the help of institutions located in the United States, such as BioCork Inc., a life science company in Philadelphia, it was Dr. Bansal's hope to bring brain-dead patients back to minimal consciousness. Now, what is minimal consciousness? Minimal conscious state, MCS, is a disorder of consciousness distinct from persistent vegetative state and locked-in syndrome. In other words, the patient in this state are in a severe coma. This, however, allows the patients to have the conscience and capability of awaking after some time, as Ronald E. Cranford defines in What is Minimal Consciousness. Dr. Bansal hoped to give these patients a chance to regain full consciousness, or awaken. Furthermore, from the scientific aspect, he hoped these experiments would help further define exactly what it is to be brain dead. As is discussed in Priyanka Pula's technical report, Experiment to Raise the Dead, blocked in India. Now, this research and technology is amazing, but still has a long way to come before truly succeeding. Due to ethical and moral questions presented by the public, this research has been temporarily put on hold. Little is known as to how the human body will react upon being awoken from a brain-dead state. Many questions arise as to how the patient will awake from this trauma. What side effects could be experienced? In this sense, only speculations can be made. Some think it will bring the monster of Frankenstein alive. But I assure you, this is nothing to be concerned about. The only way to truly find these answers is to perform these experiments and run a series of tests on the patients. Now, for many people, one of the big issues with this is Dr. Bansal intended on conducting these experiments on human beings. As grim or even sadistic as this may seem, there truly would be no alternative to this synopsis. Although animals can and have been used in many other experiments and drug tests, the human brain is not similar enough to any animal to acquire accurate results. The resolution to this problem is that all the patients Dr. Banzel planned to utilize in this experiment donated their bodies to science. This means that in the case of dying or undergoing a severe trauma, like brain dead, they subject themselves for the purpose of research to further science. The other side of the argument is, why is this research unethical and immoral in the eyes of the public? Now, I am trying to convince you all as to why we should move forward with this research, but I feel it is my moral obligation to tell you a little bit about the other side. As with all experiments and research, there is no guarantee it will work. This very point is amplified by the fact there is no experimental trials involving animals, and it jumps straight into human testing. Additionally, some people simply don't want to see the results of these experiments. Although it may allow an individual to regain full consciousness, we truly don't know where it will leave the individual's mental state. Finally, many people don't want their taxpayer money going towards something that they don't believe in or could possibly fail. It is evident that there are two avid sides to this subject, both of which have exceedingly strong opinions on the subject matter. I hope in this speech I've effectively made you aware of the benefits of exploring this science and research. The newfound technology not only will do wonders in the science community, possibly finding cures for degenerative brain diseases, but will also allow families and friends to reunite with loved ones. This will never be possible unless we allow this research to continue and hopefully perfect over the years to come. I'd like to thank you all for joining me today, and I pray that through this speech I have convinced you to support this research. Thank you.
Dr. Phil, Cold Blue!